What's up, guys? Dmvdrakes here, back at it again with another tier list. It's just me this time. A lot of other people are busy this time of year. They're preparing for, regionals, Pokemon, Flesh and Blood. We're well rounded here at the Dmvdrakes. We play anything. If it has it has a monster on a card, we play it. We play every variable of Wizard Poker. No variation of Wizard Poker is left unchecked. Anyway, with the release of BT-21 this week, or whenever this comes out, it should be in like the next, around that time when BT-21 gets released, we've decided to make a little tier list, and just to make the tier list a little faster, because I've been noticing over the years our tier lists have been getting up there, reaching the 2-hour mark. And no one really wants to sit around and talk about a deck for 2 hours, especially if they don't care about the deck. So we're just going to bang these out. It's going to be heavily edited, and it's going to be a little bit different than the normal tier list you will see on the platform, at least as far as Digimon content goes. So all the cards that are included in the tier list will be cards that's available up until the April tournament store promos, and it's also including, of course, the 2 starter decks that came out, the 2 adventure starter decks that came out, and also BT-21 as a whole, and all the promos that's available inside of BT-21. And also, if you don't want to hear a specific deck, or you want to skip to the deck you specifically care about, we will have timestamps in the description that you can click on for the deck you want to see. Or if you don't care about anything we're about to say at all, you could just skip right to the end, look at the full list. No one will fault you. It's going to be a pretty long video. We understand. I mean, of course, I want you to watch the whole thing, but if you don't want to, I'm not going to force you to. Another thing is, okay, let's just really quick talk about how we place decks. So now we have this cool scoring system that should be appearing on the screen right now. Decks will be rated on a 20-point star system. Each category has the possibility to be scored 0 to 5 stars. And there are 4 categories in total. The categories are consistent, how quickly a deck can establish their win condition consistently, can't talk today. Memory efficiency, how well the deck can use, reduce game, manipulate the memory bar, Digivolution calls it playing things without cost, or heavy use of non-archetype specific cards like gem boosts or trainings, etc. How resilient a deck is, how long a deck can keep on the board, or how long a win con can stay on the board or recur its win con after it's established. And if the deck has any built-in protections, like how Gallant has built-in protections, or even something that has jamming or barrier, it also counts as well. And also we have the comeback factors, like whatever, I wrote flavor. I will come back favor in the script, man. Swear. Comeback factor. How well a deck can clap back after the opponent gets established is like basically just a comeback factor. Destiny draws, turn the wheels of fate, all that good stuff. Like medieval Gallant stuff. Gallantmon period has a high comeback factor, as we'll talk about later. Also, we wanted to just add this as well. If you believe this list isn't good, or you would like to comment on the list, please let us know in the comments below. Also, we will have a list. We'll have a link to the list we used in the comments below as well. So that way you can go on X or make your own YouTube video, tweet at us, or, post the YouTube video in our Discord in the Promote Me channel and talk about how your list is better than ours, or what you agree or disagree with our list. I'm really curious to see in the comments and on X what you guys think the meta will turn out. Final 2 things before we get started. I swear it's not going to take long at all. At the end of the format, we're going to do something different. We're going to bring up the list again and then compare it to all the tops that we've seen around the world to see how consistent we were at guessing what was going to be good and what wasn't going to be good. And then we'll do like an update at the end after like the second to last event or something, And we'll be like, yeah, so this deck turned out like this. Medusa was better than we thought. Armor Rush wasn't as good as we thought. X, Y, and the third. Finally, we would like to announce a contest. If you want to win a copy of a starter deck, ST20 or ST21, throughout this video, there will be a picture of a Bancho Gammamon. He looks like this. This one does not count. He looks like this. In random locations in the video. And if you find all 5 locations, email us with the timestamp and the location of the picture. The first person that does that will win one of the starter decks if they email us all that information. I prefer if you take screenshots of where you see the Bancho Gabu at. That would be fantastic, and also give us, you know, timestamps and everything. The contest will end May 16th, so you have plenty of time. And if you would like to win a mat with this design, you can feel free to participate in our Bancho Beatdown series on our Discord channel. It's $5 entry. We do free shipping worldwide. It's bi-weekly on Tuesdays. And you can just we'll leave a link to our Discord down below and a link to the Limitless link down below of the season that we're doing. So if you would like to participate, just please let us know. It's online as well. I should probably mention that. All right, these are the decks we got. All right, guys. The first deck we got here is Three Musketeers. I mean, the new Link support is really cool. The interesting thing about Three Musketeers is that you can use the new Link support, like I just said, or you can go the Magna Kid route, excuse me, using the new Dragonkin support. But unfortunately, that's kind of where the positives in the deck is sadly a little bit too slow and not sticky enough to justify a higher placement on this list. It's a bit too weak to contend with the meta, so we're going to just keep it at locals tier. 7th Grade Demon Lords is a amazing deck that really gets grindy still. A security stack of options, powerful effects like the EX6 Pulsemon and the Creepymon, and access to Digimon that lock the board down like Ruin Mode and Medieval Gallantmon. It's a pretty good control deck, I would say. The only thing now is that since the Royal Knights is so good now, and because Royal Knights is so good, that's making Rookie Floodgates good. Rookie Floodgates slows down 7th Grade Demon Lords a bit. Now, it's not too much, because 7th Grade Demon Lords can still run things like Deathclaw and Corona Blaster to pop the Floodgates. But it's enough to knock it down, I think, 1 tier, just putting it into competitive. Also, because Omni is so good and Royal Knights is so good, the new support for Royal Knights is really, really strong. It's very overwhelming. It's pretty fast. Accel is a great deck. It's a lot of fun. I love the new Chaosmon stuff. The new Volder arm is really good. The new Bancho, that bird thing whose name I forget. All fun, all fantastic. Also, we got the new Darkdramon. I just remembered that. Yeah, we got the new Darkdramon now. That gives them access to an ace. And that Darkdramon is nothing to scoff at either. I think the issue with Accel is that it gets its sources stripped. And Imperial right now was really good. Not only does it have its sources stripped, it's also a Jogress deck that, like I said previously, I'm going to say a lot of times on this list, Floodgates are pretty good right now. I mean, Accel has an easier time getting rid of Floodgates because they have a lot of 3K, a neg 3K guys that you can hard play or Digivolve with. But just the lack of mainline support is really what's dragging the deck down, in my opinion. Once this deck gets another wave of support, it'll be fantastic. Accel, it's playable. Adventure Time, man. I call it. Everybody calls it Adventure Zoo. I call it Adventure Time. This deck is so much fun. This deck is a lot of fun. My only gripe with the deck is that they should have made it in the World Convergence set itself. Now, this is a little bit of a personal thing. I think they should have swapped the apps support with the adventure support, putting the app support as its own dedicated starter deck and putting the adventure stuff inside the World Convergence. I say that because that would have helped people who bought the starter deck, which would have been apps in our hypothetical world, understand how to play apps a little better. Apps is a little confusing to play. So I can get how, especially during our pre-releases that we had, people were a little confused. Like, hey, how many sources? I mean, not sources. Oh, that's not sources. How many links can you have underneath a Digimon? Can you link to a Digimon that doesn't have the app trait, the Appmon trait? Why is my source? Why am I getting source stripped and the link is still there? Do you get the link effects on the top Digimon or vice versa? It was a lot of confusion. So I wish they would have made a starter deck, and they just, like how they did with the Jawgrass deck, they printed the Jawgrass deck, they explained how Jawgrass worked in that deck. Everybody understood how Jawgrass worked, you know? But that is a side tangent that I shouldn't have ranted on. Adventure is good. It's good. The only issue with Adventure is that it could be a little bit too much setup. That's the main issue. You need quite a few tamers, but it's really fast, really strong, a lot of recursion, a lot of support. I would say it's a very competitive deck, but on the low end of competitive for right now. Time will tell if it's just a playable deck or a competitive deck or a highly competitive deck. Angels have been the same since EX6. It's a very strong Digivolution deck, like stacked Digivolution deck that just prints memory. Man, Angels prints memory. That TK used to print memory for Angels. Now with things like Medieval Gallant and Valderarm to help lock Angels down a bit and stop them from kind of like getting way out of hand like they used to, it's a little bit more difficult to, I would say, manage an Angel stack. I would say managing an Angel stack is a little bit harder because Source Strip, of course, is always going to be strong, and they're not immune to Source Strip. And also, like I said, Medieval Gallant could just blow up the thing that Dominimon spits out. But Dominimon gives some protection, so I guess that's on the player if they want to protect it or not. Really, the bigger issue with Angels is that it could be kind of bricky, and Source Strip, that's kind of like it. But the new Valder is great. They have a lot of support. The Roselmon is fantastic. That card's actually really astounding. I was quite a bit surprised how powerful it is in testing. And yeah, they're actually, now that I think about it, they're kind of immune to Medieval, aren't they? Because the Dominion can protect them from getting blown up. So yeah, I think Angels is fine right now. Angels is pretty good. I don't know what you're going to do against Omni, but hey, you know, Angels is highly competitive. Our first highly competitive of the list. Moving on to apps. Apps really needs their tamer to help maintain memory. The linking can get out of hand with the when digivolving effects. I recommend ramping until you're 5 and then swapping links, kind of like Armor Rush does. I heard word from the grapevine that there is some kind of OTK that's in the works somehow. Maybe I've said too much. That goes with trying to always be helpful. But yeah, there's some kind of like apps OTK I heard from like 5 to 0. If anybody manages to figure that out, let me know. I mean, me and my crack team of Digimon scientists have been working on that for I would say we talked about it for at least like 30 to 40 minutes, and we haven't really figured out a consistent way to do it. So if we do, we'll let you know. But right now, I think apps is a little too gimmicky. But not gimmicky like Valderarm. Gimmicky as in like you need to keep your apps linked. You need certain protections that they don't have access to. There's a lot of recursion and a lot of support, but I honestly think it's a deck that is going to need some time to stew, and they need a little bit more support. Like it's a very situational deck. I think you need the option, and you definitely need the tamer for it to really be as potent as it could be, and that's asking a lot. Now you have to play like 4 copies of a 4-drop tamer, and you have to pay 4 copies of the I think it's called App Driver. I think it's called App Link. Yeah, App Link. You have to play 4 copies of App Link, which isn't so bad. But then you have to do everything at the end of turn to get the free linking with the App Link. It's quite a bit. Apps is highly at the high part of playable and at the low end of competitive for now. Bloom is Bloom. Bloom is Bloom. It's one of the faster stack decks in the game, honestly. And Bloom really just loses hearts to Floodgates. But the thing about Bloom is they can also abuse the Floodgates, like with the BT-14 Pulsemon. I mean, if they just hard drop a Floodgate and you have a Pulsemon in the back, you just Pulsemon, target that Floodgate, Digivolve into Pal X, suspend it, gain they're gonna lose 2 memory, excuse me. Then you can just run it over and do whatever you need to do from there, you know? And by then you already have like memes and like trainings and memory boosts out to help you out as well. Also, they have a little bit of protection with the Quantumon, and I've been seeing a lot of Bloom players switch to a medieval package, which is really funny. They've been having medieval packages, like 2 or 3 medieval, and then they would play like 1 or 2 Sakuyamon Ace so they can ace on top of the medieval. It's pretty cheeky stuff going on right now. But the thing is, Bloom also can run Floodgates as well. Like, they can run Pomu, and then they can run the old Terriermon. There's that new Tento Floodgate that's really good. So it's Bloom is in a weird spot. Definitely. There's a lot. Floodgates hurt Bloom a lot more than the other very competitive decks. So I will put Bloom at either the tail end of competitive or the top of playable, with a chance to bounce up to highly competitive every now and then, just for the speed alone. Bloom is so fast. Blue Hybrid. Well, I really shouldn't call it like Blue Hybrid. I should call it Red Blue Hybrid Fusion Dance. Blue Hybrid has adopted the red base after the BT4 promo Lobo was hit, which I think was not necessary, but anyway. That Lobo getting hit made the red base stronger, because all the red hybrid players went to blue hybrid red base. Majority, I would say. The only people that are really still sticking around are really like die-hard red hybrid players. But once that Agunimon got hit, everybody switched to blue base, and they were like, holy smokes. Blue base, everybody switched to red base, and they were like, red base blue hybrid is better than pure blue hybrid and red hybrid ancient gray stuff. It was crazy how a deck that was like fine during its inception, I guess because not a lot of people, a lot more decks then were playing through Floodgates. It was a lot more stacked decks, I would say. Like Dexdorugoramon was good. Hybrid decks don't need to. They just go through Floodgates. Floodgates don't matter with hybrid decks. But now, because of Royal Knight, Bloom, Blue Hybrid itself, Green Ranger, Chronicle, everything is like, just off the top of the head, everything is playing through, either Floodgates or going wide. You know, everybody's going wide now. So, red base Blue Hybrid is in a solid spot because red has the best Floodgates in the entire game. Medieval Gallant, the Floodgate rookies, Crimson Blaze, plenty of stuff I can go on with. They got technically 3 copies if you want to get technical, of memory gaining 0 cost options. They can run Gravity Crush, they can run Blinding Ray, and they can run Hammer Spark, and they can run Heaven's Judgment, and they can run Aces if they want Ruin modes. The deck is so customizable now that it's like, it's hard to pinpoint exactly what the best route to go is, but I think the red base blue hybrid, highly competitive. Very, very competitive deck. Alright, we got Chronicle. Alright, Chronicle's a lot of fun. It reminds me a lot of the Galaxy engine in a way. I think it's like the best way to put Chronicle is like an X Anybody Galaxy engine, because a lot of those cards in Chronicle are so generic that they can be slotted in any X Antibody deck. And most of the stuff that plays X Antibody cards are either black, yellow, or red, you know? Gallant X Antibody is red. You could play the Chronicle stuff with Black War Grey X, Gigasdramon. You can always play Omni X, but you know, when can you not play Omni X? You know what I'm saying? It's just a very solid engine. I mean, the Galaxy engine is a little bit better. Honestly, the Galaxy engine is fantastic. But don't count the Chronicle stuff. Chronicle's in the middle of competitive. I want to see it do a little bit more. All right, moving on to D-Brigade. Yep, moving on to D-Brigade. D-Brigade, man, is really hurting right now. D-Brigade is losing right now. They have a new ace. That Darkdramon ace is fantastic, phenomenal card. D-Brigade is just a little too balanced. It's like, if D-Brigade came out during BT-11 or even 9 with that Darkdramon, it'll probably be the best deck in the game. But I think decks are just a little too fast for D-Brigade. Even going back to playing the original like 20 Commandramons and finish them off with like the BT, what was that, BT-4? I think Darkdramon is a little too slow now. I think the best route to go is to make it more control-y, and that's kind of like it. I mean, D-Brigade kind of loses to a lot right now. I mean, Ruin Mode is still very active. Medieval is still a very problematic card. Omni is still fantastic because it could just blow up all your stuff. Crimson Blazes. You're starting to notice like a pattern with this format right now. Is either you have to be fast enough to play through Floodgates, or fast enough to establish your engine or your play style or your stack without it immediately getting clapped back later. D-Brigade, sorry everybody, just keep it at locals. Alright, we got Dinos. Dinos is a great deck if you're just starting out the game. It's very cheap, very easy to build, very affordable, very fun. No issues with Dinos. I guess the only thing about Dinos is it loses to play Digimon by effect floodgates like Pomu and Gotsu, because Fortitude is technically an effect. They can stop Fortitude from going off. But other than that, Dinos is fantastic. I mean, it's like it's such a good deck, and especially a good starter deck to learn the mechanics of Digimon. And also, you can slot it into the Galaxy engine because why not? Dinos is like in front of Bloom, I would say, in the playable category. All right, talking about DS Warriors, it's fine. I think it's a little bit weak right now. You heard that? Somebody was mad. It's fine. I think it's a little bit weak right now. Out of all the, like, I don't know what to call them, like Nature Spirit, Nightmare Soldier decks, the Nature Field, whatever the in-lore name for those kinds of decks are, I think Deep Sea Warriors is a little bit like, or Deep Saviors, I think it's called Deep Saviors, right? Yeah, I think Deep Saviors is a little too, like, fair. Like, the top end is great, the deck is fine, but once you do your, like, little fish control combo and you pass turn, it's pretty easy to clap it back, you know what I mean? Even forgetting the Floodgate debate right now, like, New Shine can do what Deep Savior Warriors can do with 3 cards, right? To do a Shine combo really quick, you just promote Geogray, slam a Marcus, doesn't even really matter which one. Digivolve that Geogray into the BT-21 Rise, and then swing Alliance with, like, God knows how much memory, you know? So, it's cool. It has battle protection and redirects, but battle protection and immunity to redirects can only get you so far, right? Deep Saviors, or whatever this is called, still don't know. We're just going to keep it at locals. Alright, Dexdorugoramon. I love black-based Dexdorugoramon. That deck is a lot of fun. Black-based Dexdorugoramon, and even purple-based to that extent, which I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that. The issue with those two decks is that they're a little too slow and require a little bit too much setup to get going efficiently. But once they go up, they become like the best control decks in the game almost. The thing is, the purple base has more speed than the black base, but less protection. And the black base has more protection and outs, but not the speed of the purple base. That's the kind of like war you're going with. Do you want speed and aggression with gaining memory? Almost gaining memory as good as yellow vaccines or angels. Gaining memory to that extent, or do you want solid defense? Like solid defense is like that Chronicle stuff. Do you want like which side of the fence do you want to be on? I prefer the defensive stuff because I just like having my stack stick around. But whiffing Kyosuke sucks. whiffing Kyosuke really does suck. And to that extent, getting walled out by like a Terriermon floodgate also sucks, or like a Shamanmon floodgate also sucks for the purple base. So it has its varieties. I was thinking about doing an hour of power on those decks one day. If you don't know what an hour of power is, it's basically a series where I do deck breakdowns and interpret my I do deck breakdowns in gameplay, and then I kind of like take an hour to explain the deck, do some gameplay, and then give my final thoughts at the end. I did it. It's on the channel. You can check out a couple episodes that we did, and if Dex is a deck you're interested in seeing in that, please let me know. I gotta stop with the mindless shilling and the updates during the videos. Dexdorugoramon, both bases, say at the low end of competitive and the high end of playable. Examon is probably the most underwhelming of the Royal Knight decks, next to Kintorismon. Examon hasn't really had any tops to my knowledge since its inception in EX3. It is one of the coolest looking Royal Knights. I mean, who doesn't like dragons? But it needs so many pieces to get going, to function. Examon Ace is incredibly strong. It has 5 keywords on it. And like, that's amazing. But, and it has a lot of DP. But it's just like, swing at me, I'm gonna unsuspend, okay, and then I'm gonna re-swing and suspend again, and then trash top with the X antibody. It's very underwhelming, and it's really easy to get rid of it. You just like, okay, they go into Examon, okay, what do people play? Imperial Sword Strip, okay, get rid of it, swing, unsuspend, swing. Oh yeah, also you have the blanket effect, so you can't even unsuspend yourself, right? Like, honestly, you can't even unsuspend yourself right now because you have the blanket effect. A red base blue hybrid can just like play floodgates and go around him, or bounce it. Honestly, bounce it. Examon needs partition. A partition with Examon might be a little busted, but hey, you know, whatever. Who cares, right? Oh man. Examon, the new Examon stuff is fine. I'll say in the middle of playable for now. Galaticmon is one of those decks that has come a long way. Kind of like Royal Knights. Royal Knights, okay, it was pretty good when it first came out in BT-13. It was like a playable deck. It was fine. And then BT-20 happened with the new Omni X, and it just exploded that deck into the stratosphere. Galactamon is the same. It's one of the few decks in the game that has access to protection from source stripping. And because of that, your Veemons are safe to do so as what they please. That new option is good. That new Galactamon is good. The new line is good. Even the stuff from BT-17 is good. The new Zenith that searches is good. The old Zenith is cracked. I got cooked on that in the, I think it was the Zephagamon Hour of Power. Skip to the version, skip to the Zephagamon Hour of Power. Skip to the part when I play Galactamon and I get cooked, bro. You can even use the EX7 option. What's it called? Oh man, what's the name of that option? It's on my desk. Give me a second. What's it called? Vortex Resonance. Man, I got destroyed by Vortex Resonance because it's a Liberator. So it's the new stuff. It has Liberator support now. So like it's really good. it's really good. It's really good. Oh man. Gallantmon, I might be thinking too highly of Gallantmon, but right now I think it's highly competitive. Solid deck. Next, Ghost. Ghost has one of the sickest keywords ever. Execute is a sick keyword. Hopefully it doesn't get us demonetized. The devastating keyword, but it's another archetype that kind of suffers from a lack of support, honestly. I've seen a couple of Ghost decks top here and there, but it's like the pre-existing Ghost stuff was so counterintuitive to how the deck plays now that it's not helpful. So you need to fill it in with a bunch of like other just generically good purple cards to fill out the space. So once Ghost gets more support and eventually gets his own Omni X, like Royal Knight's got his own Omni X, then Ghost will be in tier 1. You know what I mean? So until then, it's gonna just sit where it is, you know? Necromon Ghost stuff. This stuff is really good. I kind of slept on it. I would say it's high competitive, middle competitive, low, blah. High competitive tier, high playable, like middle competitive, high playable. So I'll put it a little bit in front of. I'll put it behind Dex. Gammamon, I am conflicted about. Sadly, Gammamon. The thing about Gammamon is this. It's not the source strip. It's not the support. It's not even the fact that it has bad effects. Gammamon actually has pretty decent effects. You can get some pretty decent effects on Gammamon. They even have protection now in the canon wise. The issue with Gammamon is it's a red deck. And you have to fit so many pieces and tuck so many things that by the time you establish your serious mon, it's already too late. The Gammamon is just like one of the slowest red decks in the game. So many decks now can just function off hard slamming in ultimate. Like I'm thinking of like Shine right now, where like you hard slam the new Rise and you can get so much value, or even Adventure, or even just hard slamming an Ace can sometimes make or break going into the game, saving the game. Gammamon is a little too fair. That's the issue with Gammamon. It's a little too fair of a deck. It's a good mid-range deck, but it's exploitable. I guess that's the best way I could put it. It's exploitable. It's really easy to exploit Gammamon. Gammamon is perfectly serviceable, honestly, but it's at the very low end of playable. Okay, hero time. All right, I call it hero time. You got adventure time and hero time. I don't come up with these names. Actually, I do. I kind of do and I kind of don't. Big ups to Arcane Kaze. Anyway, I think just because there's more adventure stuff, that the hero stuff is a little lesser by comparison. I haven't really seen many people play with the hero stuff. I've just honestly seen people take what was supposed to also be included with the hero deck and put it into other decks. You might hear the ice cream truck go past. So only time will tell if it's really that good of a deck, honestly. I think the deck is okay as a mid-range deck, but like I said, I think the support, it's like, why would you use the new Shine support in the hero stuff when you can just play Shine? Or why would you use the Hunter stuff, the Hunter hero stuff in heroes when you can just play Hunters? It's like, what is the incentive, you know, to play this support in other decks? They don't even have all the, like, the armor stuff isn't even hero trait. It's just the Veemon, and the Davis, I believe, doesn't even really help heroes. It just a hero in name, and the tie is more so for adventure than it is for heroes. So I don't want to keep just blaming things on new support, but like, I don't know. It's just like one of those things where, like, why play this when something better is there, you know? Hero time, I'm kind of on the fence about currently. I would say it is on the, I would say it's on the low end of competitive. Hunters. At first, I just wrote off the Hunter support just being great pre-release cards. Like that Dramon, I'm pretty sure won people a lot of pre-releases this weekend, or last weekend, or whenever the pre-release weekend was. Your pre-release weekend was. But after fighting the deck on the sim and playing against the deck and playing the deck myself, after the indirect nerf to superior mode due to the ace overflow not triggering when moved under another card, and new superior mode kind of having like pseudo blitz and offering a lot more in the way of DP, I honestly think that Hunters is the best it's been since BT-12. Like the deck is so consistent now. Like the new Tigeroo helps the deck with. It's basically like the new Tigeroo is basically like a Taiki and a U mixed together in one. So you only need to play one card, right? It also gives you 2 colors that can proc a lot of your other that can proc your old superior modes. It gives you access to the same kind of like save effect that it always had, but now you have the ability to like use cross up, the new option to get sources from trash, and and digivolve with those. It's a lot. It's a lot. The new support helped it a lot. It's way more consistent. You don't need to play as many like different kinds of tamers now. You know what I mean? You don't need to be like, oh, I didn't see my U. Oh, I didn't need to see my Taiki. The new Tigeroo helped fix the issues of the old deck because now you can gain memory and draw at the same time. It's not restricted to 2 different types of tamers now. So it's not like I didn't see my memory tamer, or I didn't see my draw tamer. You know, I got it all in one space. So now those separate ones are just supplementary. I could do my Tigeroo first, and if I need another draw, I can trigger my other Taikis. If I need more memory, I can trigger my other U's. That's honestly how it should be. Hunters is fantastic. Hunters is phenomenal. I might get a lot of backlash for this, but I kind of want to put it in I'll put it in competitive, but petering on the highly competitive. We need to see more tops to see what's going on with it. All right, Imperial. Okay, come on, it's Imperial. We all know like how this is gonna go, right? Oh man. Imperial is really like. All right, here we go. We know the combo. You know, you jogress, you gain 2 memory, you gain another memory, you strip some sources with the Daiken. Okay, swing, onto spin, maybe swing again. Go into a dragon mode. Doesn't really matter which one at this point. It could be the BT-12 one. Who cares? Spin out the sources with the starter deck one. Tap something down onto spin with the BT-16 one. Oh, let's not forget Proto Janitor. And then if they try to do something on your turn, you can partition or ace them. No downsides. No downsides at all. Imperial, is there any real like question where it's gonna go? Gallantmon is basically a BT9 deck that can function in BT-21. And let me explain. It is so easy to pilot Gallantmon now. It used to take a little bit of thought because like, you know, you had to think, oh, do I push out here? Okay, they have an armored Digimon out. I can't really delete it, and I can't gain the DP to run it over, so I need to kind of like segment my plays to out this armored Digimon. Now, Gallantmon has deletion, negging with DP negs, and power. So it's like all the weaknesses that it had are just are like gone, right? It's just like they buffed it to the point where it really has very little weaknesses. I guess the main weakness it has is on the opponent's turn, it doesn't really have any protection, but who cares? Because now, if the opponent were to delete Gallantmon somehow, the Gammamon X gives the Gallant a floating ability now. So now when they delete it, they can spit out a Gilmon, and then it could either have Rush, or you can start the stack over again next turn. And also with trainings and scrambles and God only knows how many Takados, man. I've seen so many Takados, especially I think it's the BT-17 one that gives piercing. I might be wrong on that. The one that allows you at end of turn to attack with a Gallant. That one's really good. I forget what set it came out in. Excuse me for that. Gallant is easily one of the best decks in the game, if not the best deck in the game. I think Royal Knights may be a little bit better, just by a smidge. But Gallant is fantastic. Same with Gallant. Well, like, why are we questioning where Gallant goes? Come on, guys. Oh, Galaxy Toolbox is fantastic. The one nerf to Galaxy Toolbox was no more Mirage, but a lot of people were weaning off multiple Mirages anyway. It really didn't get hit at all. I mean, it's still a good deck. I think people are just more excited to play the new stuff than they are to play Galaxy for the 8 millionth time. You know what I mean? You're always going to have those one people like myself that'll always play Bloom, or always play Dino, or always play Dex, or even always play Luga. But I think people are a little, especially after the Mirage limit, I think people are a little tired of playing Galaxy. Especially now that there's so many ways to build it, and net decking is becoming a lot more difficult because the merger is making a lot of net deckers out of business a little bit with Digimon. They have to like wait until tops come in so they can net deck. Nothing wrong with net decking. I'm just mentioning that. So I think Galaxy right now is like, it's like fine. A lot of things are fast. The set is a lot faster, and just more interesting decks are available right now. So I think Galaxy Toolbox is still a very competitive deck, but yeah, I think people are just tired of playing it. Same with Galaxy Toolbox. All the best decks like right next to each other. Funny how that works. Oh man, Red Purple Imperial, man. Virus Imperial, I slept on Virus Imperial so much. It is a fantastic deck, a lot of outs. I guess if you... It's kind of like what Luga used to be, or Takami Nazuchi used to be, where like if you saw it, you just saw it. But if you get outsped, you just get outsped. I think it's a little slower than pre-hit Takami Nazuchi, because pre-hit Takami Nazuchi, once they had that Fenrir going and the Kazuchimon in trash, and then their Takami Nazuchi in trash, you basically just lost. Like once they had those three pieces in trash, like good to go, you're done. Honestly. So I would say Red Purple Imperial is definitely, if you used to play like Takami Nazuchi, it's one of those like OTK gamble decks, you know, with a little bit of like stunning, you know, the new I think it's fighter mode. I think the new fighter mode definitely has a floodgate effect where you can't trigger like on plays and stuff. I'll put the card up on the screen if I'm a little wrong. I might be a little hazy on the effect, because honestly, I only played it a little bit, and I've only fought it not that often. And when I did fight it, it was like very rare they won, because the deck is a little like, it's like I said, it takes a while to get going, and it's also very expensive. You know, the Shadramon promo, I think I'm gonna put how much it is on this video, but it's not a cheap promo. Last I checked, it was $75. And I'm not sure if it got reprinted or not yet, but I don't think that reprint is really going to help. I am going to put Red Purple Imperial in competitive. If you got the gas, you just got the gas. But if you brick, you brick, you know? Another deck I kind of slept on is Jesmon. Jesmon is incredibly potent now. I think Jesmon has the tools to survive now than it ever has. It's very fun. It's Jesmon is Jesmon. It's going to spit out a trillion bodies. It's going to do 1,000,001 things. I think the benefit of Jesmon now is that it kind of has like that Geo Gray kind of effect, where if you just hard play a Sistermon, it can reduce Sistermons, it can hard play Sistermons. The Genku, the new Genku is phenomenal. It basically pushed that deck up 2 slots by itself. So Jesmon has a lot going for it right now. It just like, oh, and then the new GX, of course, is outstanding. Jesmon is a fantastic deck. If you used to be a Jesmon player, you're eating. Honestly, you're really eating. Jesmon, a lot of people have been telling me it's pretty competitive, so I'm gonna just put it up into competitive. Out of word of mouth, I trust my community. I'll put it in the middle of competitive. I don't know about highly competitive just yet. Alright, Leviamon. I am so confused on where to put Leviamon. On one hand, I want to put it in highly competitive because the deck really punishes you for playing the game. On the other hand, I've seen people brick with the deck so much that I never see Leviamon in the game. So I'm a little conflicted on where to put it. I want to put it in highly competitive just so I don't like shoot myself in the foot at the end of the meta where everything's kind of died down and figured itself out. But right now, Leviamon, I think, is struggling just to fight things that are a little bit faster than it or a little bit more control-y than it. Like, there's a lot of floodgates now. And then floodgates don't really matter to Levia. But before Levia comes out, floodgates really eat that deck. Also, a lot more source stripping is going on. You have to set up Levia. You have to have like a Biting Crush out with a Levia in trash, and you got to have something with the proto form. And I think people just figured out how to play against the deck too. You know, it's not really that threatening because you know how to like break it down a bit. But if they're breaking. You can't help that. But if they're like missing certain pieces, like they're not seeing X antibody, they're not even seeing a rookie, they're not seeing their Dober X's. It can be kind of like that's your window to beat the deck, honestly. If they're missing a key piece, you have that turn or the next turn to defeat them. And hopefully you don't hit that out of security. Leviamon, I'm just putting into competitive for now. I'm not really seeing... Everything else is just so much faster. It's kind of tough for me to place Levia right now. This might change towards the end of the format. Loogamon is in a rough spot, man. It's basically just draw until you see the friendly Loogamon. The new Seeker stuff helps. It gives it like a new identity a little bit. You can kind of like get 2 stacks going with the Seeker stuff. But now you just have to hard play the Takumi not the Takumi the Kazuchimon, which actually is Cheeks. So it's a little bit hard to place it. I'd say it's like very low, honestly, on the list, cause it's just like. But if you see that if you see that Fenry, the BT-17 Fenry, you win, honestly. But it's a lot less consistent. Oh, SOC, how mighty have fallen. Putting it at the very low end of competitive and tier 2 playable. If you see the Fenrir, it's a highly competitive deck. If you don't see the Fenrir, then it's just competitive. Mastemon is one of those decks that will always... Well, we know what it is, guys. It's Strip Club Maste. It's going to be one of the most expensive decks to build for the least amount of payoff. The new promo is phenomenal. Like, it's really good. It's a great card. The issue with Maste is getting to that great card is a lot of work. That's not really worth it. In like a set where people pop things with Medieval and Leviamon is good and you can get source stripped and bounced and deleted, it's like... Would it stop? Maste doesn't have any protection to block itself from getting popped or deleted and source stripped and bounced and bot decked, and we don't have remove from play yet, but that's coming. Trust me, that's coming. We already have a way to put cards face down underneath other cards. It's coming. We're going to get a Lost Zone. Watch. We're going to get an Exile stack. Watch. It's coming. Mastemon will probably always be keeping at locals until they print a Mastemon that has partition. Alright, we got Medusamon, right? Medusa is one of those decks that I would say is one of the best red engines we've seen in a little bit. because so many things have Dragonkin or Reptile in its name, and because that support is so generic with those kinds of play styles, I've seen like Dragonkin 3 Musketeers, and I've seen Gallantmon Turbo, because you can use Gallantmon, you can use the new Gallantmon with it and the old Gallantmons with it. And also in its Medusamon state, just pure Medusa is also very good. Like that effect to spit out Digimon on the opponent's side of the field after their like security stacks are removed, and then you can like Crimson Blaze to delete their tokens, make Crimson Blaze cheaper, delete their tokens while trashing their security. It's a lot of cute things you can do with it. I guess the only real issue with Medusamon is like it's a red deck, so it's gonna break. It's gonna be very hard to get the stack going if you're missing key pieces. But even still, they have new cards that hit themselves out of security. And Owen is dummy. It's so good, man. It's stupid good. Man, that new Owen is fantastic. Also, they kind of got like a little mini Death X, man, with the new what's his name? With the new War Grey. He's kind of like a little like red Death X, little uncommon Death X. It's like not as good as Death X, but you know, you can like play it. It's got Rush, it's got Raid, 11k. You can buff him a little bit if you try hard enough. So I think Medusa's a pretty solid and fun deck, you know? Medusa is actually pretty good. Issue with Medusa is lack of support and very it's a red deck, a red stack deck. So I would say at the very end of competitive. Megidramon, oh man, Megidramon feels like it is why would you play, okay, I got a question. Why would you play Megidramon over Gallant? Okay, alright, fair enough. If you actually said something, fair enough. But really, like, why would you play Megidramon over Gallant when Gallant just does everything Megidramon can do but better? Megidramon is fun. You can kind of get a little, like, loopy with the playing from, like, trash and giving things rush, and, like, it gets increased. The things you can play gets increased depending on how much is in each other's trash. It's fine. But, like, honestly, just play Gallant. Just play Gallant. Oh, well, hey, if a Megidramon tops, then I'll have egg on my face, right? The new the new Megidramon stuff, it's playable, it's fine. I don't know if it's better than, well, it is better than Bloom, because they could just, like, blow themselves up at the end of attack, right? If they don't get bot decked by the new puppet stuff. Pulsemon is one of the most grindy mid-range decks in all of Digimon. Like, Pulsemon spits memory. It absolutely just spits memory. But the issue of Pulsemon is that even though it spits memory, it's incredibly weak. There's not a lot of like DP minusing and protection it gets. It has like the potential to bounce. It has the potential to get memory. It has the potential to recover, but it's all based on how many cards is in your security stack. And I think that's the issue. Now, it's not hard to manipulate your security at all. The BT-17 Bound, no, it's BT-16 Bound is a fantastic card. No, it is BT-17. The BT-17 Bound is a fantastic card. Whenever your security is manipulated all turns, if you got a tamer underneath them, you just right up to Kazuchi or Shroud or anything. I think Pulse is, just like I said, it's one of the grindier mid-range decks, and there's just things are so fast now that Pulses can get outsped a lot. And Pulse doesn't really have a comeback factor like that. Once Pulse is in Kazuchimon, it's like, okay, you got your Kazuchimon, but you're at like what, -2 memory, -2 security. I'm gonna just hybrid for game or play this medieval Gallant and pop your guys, right? Or suspend you and just run through you. You know what I'm saying? Well, I can't do that because it has barrier, but you get what I'm saying. Okay, we got Purple Hybrid. I just added this today, honestly, in recording this. Purple Hybrid is not bad at all. It's still good. It'll still mess you up. Purple Hybrid is still just as fast as it's always been. Don't trust me on this. I play tested the deck, piloted it, post mat band, and was still beating people down on the sim. It's harder to do the loop, and takes a little bit more setup in the trash, but not by a lot. The deck is still fine. The deck can still function. The Jack Raid honestly hurt more than the mat getting hit. The deck can still be okay. And if you don't want to play the deck like the normal way, you can always just play Minerva hybrids, right? That's still fine too. You know, nothing is stopping people from digivolving from trash. There's no floodgate that stops that yet. I'm telling you, Purple Hybrid, top of competitive, it's still a fantastic fast deck. You're gonna see a lot of wins with this deck still. It's not gone. Just because the mat got hit doesn't mean the deck is bad at all. Okay, Red Hybrid. Red Hybrid is stupid. It's fast, and by the time I'm finished this statement, the gameplay that I probably have on screen is probably over. Red Hybrid, no question. Come on. So yeah, moving on to rocks. Alright, yep, so we got Rock / Mineral OTK. This is a deck that I think a lot of people were excited about, because this was like one of the first few tried and true, I'm literally just trying to OTK you decks. You know what I mean? This is like one of the first that they printed in a long time. I want to say since BT-9, that's the last time they printed like this is specifically designed to OTK a person. You know what I mean? I guess Shine, BT-13 Shine, was like kind of designed to OTK you. But that took a little bit of setup in my opinion. So that's just me. And I think that's the problem with Rocks, is it's trying to be like Grandis was in BT-9 with none of the like speed of back then Grandis. Now things are so fast. You have to set up your trash with enough like dirt and mineral Digimon, or like rock and mineral Digimon, to get the OTK going. And yeah, it's not as good as it once was. Rock Mineral OTK is at the low end of playable. It's a pretty inconsistent deck. The funny thing about the deck is, if it was like purple, it would probably be tier 0, honestly, because purple is so fast at filling up the trash. Thank goodness it's not purple. Alright, almost done, guys, I swear. Royal Knights, busted. One of the best decks in the game. It doesn't care about floodgates because it has floodgate removal. It doesn't care about like anything. It has 2 win cons. It's gonna Omega Omni you, or it's gonna do BT-13 Omni, play out a mess of guys, and run through you. It's gonna do one of those 2 things. It's a lot more support. They can ace on your turn, making their Digimon a little bit safer as well. They have access to Medieval Gallant. Well, everybody has access to Medieval Gallant. And they have access to Crimson modes. They can play Crimson Blazes to stop other Royal Knight players. The thing about Royal Knights is, since people are teching in cards to try to beat it, that also hurts decks that are lower on the spectrum. Is there any question that Royal Knights is at the top of highly competitive? Is that any question? Matter of fact, we gotta move Gallon up too. Let's do a little bit of cleanup here really quick. Bop, bop, bop. Like there. There we are. Okay, Sakuyamon X. Sakuyamon is still fine. I think people aren't just playing it right now because they're trying to play test the new stuff right now, so you might not see it in a lot of lists at the moment. But nah, Sakuya is good. Sakuya is fantastic. It is not bad at all. It's still just as fast as it always been. It's so funny. I think because people were so fixated on the Tau loop, and once that kind of got hit, everybody realized, oh, well, regular Sakuya X is just more consistent than that anyway, so we'll just play this instead. If you're still playing Tau, you must really just like the way that plays. But Sakuya X doesn't need to dig as deep to get it going. I think that's why it's better. Sakuya X, oop, the list is getting kind of weird. Sakuya X is highly competitive. I gotta decrease it. The list is getting kind of weird. Alright, Shine. Yeah, we're coming down towards the end. We only got like 3 more left. Shine is still stupid. It is much better now than it's ever been. The fact that you can Raise the Geograde, slam on Marcus, Digivolve into Rise from BT-21, suspend the, give the Marcus Rush and Alliance, swing the Marcus. If it's the BT-12 Marcus, you can Digivolve into a Shine for that. A little bit dumb. Also, that Rise is an on-play, which is also dumb. So that deck is dumb. You don't even really need the new Marcus. I think some people play it, because with the new option is pretty good. Then you can give something like Piercing and like minus 3k and gain 3k, so that's really good. 15k piercing is nothing to scoff at, especially when you can attack unsuspended. But a Shine is really good, honestly. What's going to kill Shine is bricks, like it always been killing Shine is bricks. They can play Ruin mode, they can play Burst mode, and they can play Burst Ace. It's a very good deck, very good deck. Okay, we got Shine. People might laugh at me for this, but Shine is insane. A highly competitive deck. Alright, Veemon Armor Rush. I should have just called it Armor Rush and put it at the top, but whatever. Veemon Armor Rush is really fast. It's very fast and can knock people down incredibly quickly. Though that new support with the new option, armor texture, Davis, and that new BT-21 Veemon, though, that is what really put Armor Rush on the map. That Veemon, for whatever reason, is not once per turn. I don't know why they didn't make it once per turn. And it also gives like 2k DP buff, like 2. So your armors are hitting for like 11, 12k easy with that new stuff. You know, I mean, it's fantastic. I've been playtesting this deck a lot. That was the first deck I built. No, actually, the first deck I built with the 21 stuff was Shine. That's the second deck I built. And then I gave my Shine stuff to a friend of mine at Locals, a great friend. Big ups to my man at Locals. I'm not going to put your name out there. I'm not going to put your name out there because I know people don't like talking about your business. But big ups to that guy. So yeah, Veemon Armor Rush is fantastic. I love it. And it's probably the deck I'm going to be playing throughout the rest of the format. Armor Rush, I'm not sure if I want to put it in highly competitive yet. I'm going to put it at the top of competitive, a little bit behind purple. Well, they can kind of fade deletion from purple hybrid, so I'll put it there. Format. Wind Guardians doesn't have enough support to do anything. It's cute. I'm gonna build it because I like Puppetmon and I like birds and then I like water and grass mixed together. I think that's just like a cool mechanic. But it doesn't have enough support. They keep giving these like nature spirits, nightmare soldiers, deep sea warriors or whatever it's called, keep giving it support and then not doing anything after it. But the thing about Wind Guardians is it's less support than the nature spirit stuff, because at least the nature spirit stuff have a second wave of support that you can use. Now you can do like the blue and the green to get to TL lock, even though the best way and the best ways to play TL lock is blue and like black. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just not enough support. It's not good. Puppetmon Ace is fantastic. That was like the only Ace card we had in the whole set, right? For pre-release? I think so. That card was a menace at pre-release. I didn't pull it, but I've seen him, like, people got destroyed by that card. Is there any secret that a Wind Guardian is going to be at the very end of the list? And the last deck I want to talk about is Cross. A lot of floodgates right now, making Cross a little less favorable than other decks. I would say the best thing to do is to just establish, and it's like weird, right? Because they want Cross to play two different ways. They wanted to play with the old on-play stuff, and they also want to Digivolve with it, with the new hero stuff. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, why would you play the hero stuff when you could just play the older stuff? So I think people are just going to go back to the old way to play Cross. But to me personally, I think Cross is just the new Cross is just a lesser version of Hunters. I think Hunters are just a little bit better because they have more draw cards. And Taiki Kudo is going to be like, I would say at the very top of playable for the Shaolmon Xros Heart stuff. Alright, that's going to do it for the list. I thank you guys for staying with me while I talked about all 39 of these decks. I would like to say, as a closing remarks, that this list is not set in stone. This is just my first impressions of what the meta is going to be going forward. I might be right, I might be wrong, who knows. But at the end of the meta, I would like to do a follow-up of this video to see where we went right and where we went wrong with a lot of our predictions. Also, in the comments below, I am going to, not the comments, also in the description below, I am going to leave a link to our X account where you can tweet at us your interpretation of what you think will be the best decks. I will also link the tier list we used in this video, so you download that. You can make your list, download it, and then send it to us and tweet at us. And I would love to see you guys' take on what the new meta is going to be.
Xros blocking out. Xros blocking out haters with his cranium inside his chest. Joe 3 still looking down at his